people say, oh, it doesn't really matter. Only 10% of the population of France is Muslim. What's the big deal? It's going to be centuries before any of this ever happens. Not true at all. If you have a population where 90% of the population have, say, 1.4 children, and 10% of the population have 3.8 children, then that 10% will have caught up with the 90%. It happens very, very fast, and it's happening very fast.
There are now many millions of Muslims in Britain and Europe. And the point about these communities is that unlike other immigrant communities, they don't wish to integrate and they don't integrate. They kind of reinforce themselves as insular communities.
We believe Islam is supreme. We believe Islam will dominate.
ألبانيا دخلت في الاتحاد الأوروبي وهي دولة مسلمة. بوسنا دخلت في الاتحاد الأوروبي وهي دولة مسلمة و50% منها مسلمين. الله بيسخر أمة مسلمة وهي الأمة التركية بتدخل في الاتحاد الأوروبي. 50 مليون مسلم في أوروبا بعد عشرات السنين سيحولوا أوروبا إلى قارة مسلمة.
They do see the fertility rate as a key element of conquest, as they put it.
فتح روما في إيطاليا يعني وأوروبا، معنى هذا إنه الإسلام سيعود إلى أوروبا مرة أخرى. هل من ضرورة الفتح أن يكون بالحرب؟ لا، ليس من الضرورة. هناك فتح سلمي.
This is a form of subtle threat that you cannot ignore it. It grows gradually, and the moment you recognize its existence, it's like cancer. The moment you recognize its symptoms, it's usually too late.
Europe, I think, is already a lost cause, and as time goes on, America will be endangered.
You know, many have said that, well, American Muslims are much more assimilated and we don't have as much of a problem. I think that we're just a little behind where Europe has already gotten to.
One shouldn't discount the possibility of absolutely horrible, destructive terrorism.
This has always been the nightmare scenario. Most people thought the risk of a massive explosion caused by a nuclear device went away with the Cold War. But according to the head of MI5 today, it remains a possibility. The risk is that a group like Al-Qaeda could get hold of chemical, biological, radiological or nuclear devices, or as they're known in the intelligence community, CBRN.
Our nightmare scenario is a nuclear detonation, and the second down, the second rung from that, you might say, is a dirty bomb.
A dirty bomb is essentially a core of radioactive material wrapped around with conventional explosives or perhaps even laced with a chemical or a biological weapons agent. A bomb like that going off in the heart of downtown New York City, downtown Washington, D.C., certainly would be a devastating occurrence.
With a dirty bomb, once the bomb goes off, you're just starting out, because when you deal with the casualties and the damage, then you have to ask, what is the unseen damage? What's the level of radiation? Is this something that people are going to die from? Over what kind of area? How far do you have to evacuate? What are your wind directions? When will you be able to repopulate that area? And even if you adjudge that it's safe to come back to, who will be confident or comfortable being the first ones to come back there?
Getting access in this global marketplace to weapons of mass destruction becomes easier every day, and understand that this is a group of individuals, if they had access to them, wouldn't hesitate for a nanosecond not to use them.
Just days ago, these men were arrested with 30 kilos of radioactive material. Thai authorities believe they were preparing a dirty bomb with cesium.
Perhaps the only thing more devastating than a dirty bomb is a nuclear device. And today, a nuclear device can fit into a suitcase.
A terrorist needs no more than 60 kilograms of highly enriched uranium to make a simple nuclear suitcase bomb. Put simply, 2 balls of uranium are sealed at each end of a tube, they're smashed together. The explosion is as powerful as the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima.
We know, after the fall of the Soviet Union, that there are just a lot of nuclear material, or indeed nuclear weapons, that are not fully accounted for.
It's been documented that Al-Qaeda on more than one occasion has sought to buy nuclear material. In the second interview that Osama bin Laden did with ABC News on Christmas Eve of 1998, the question was asked, do you have these weapons and would you use them? And his answer was, we consider it, that would be Al-Qaeda, a religious duty to acquire these weapons and to use them as we see fit.
If I seek to acquire such weapons, this is a religious duty. How we use them is up to us.
The radical Islamists would not at all hesitate to try to use, if they had it, a nuclear weapon or biological weapons to, say, decapitate the American government.
For Americans to believe that it is impossible for a mushroom cloud to appear in Manhattan or in LA or in San Antonio or Minneapolis, St. Paul, they're sorely mistaken.
Iran provides a new and I think extremely alarming phenomenon.
ما بالاخره یک نظام ضد آمریکایی هستیم. آمریکا با ما دشمن، ما با آمریکا دشمنیم.
What makes this particularly important and dangerous is the possession of nuclear weapons. Now, we don't know whether Iran has or hasn't nuclear weapons, but they're certainly making every effort to acquire them. And my guess is that they either have some already or will have them within a very short time.
فضل الهی، مسیر بهره‌مندی کامل از همه ظرفیت هسته‌ای رو به پایان است و ما نزدیکی‌های قله هستیم. مقاومت‌های دشمنان در حال تضعیف شدن و ضعیف‌تر شدن است.
We need to understand what's been happening in Iran over the past 30 years.
Ever since 1979, when Ayatollah Khomeini came to power in Iran and established his theocracy, he didn't just establish a tyranny in Iran, he declared war against the West. He declared his intention to Islamize the West, to subjugate the West to Islam. Very few people at the time took that seriously.
The followers of Ayatollah Khomeini shocked the world by taking over an American embassy and holding our State Department employees hostage for 444 days. And what that was a statement against the West, a statement against America, and making it clear to their population and to all the Islamists of the world that theocratic Islamism stood against American liberty and Western freedom.
We know that the Iranian government is working very hard to develop a nuclear weapons program, as well as other kinds of weapons of mass destruction programs.
Iran's nuclear program is thought to be spread over at least 50 sites. They could, at least in theory, enrich uranium to 90%, weapons grade, requiring some 2,000 centrifuges spinning to supersonic speeds.
قدرت آمریکا رو به اضمحلال است. قدرت پوشالی و سلطه شیطانی آمریکا بر جهان رو به نابودی.
I would regard this as a real danger at the present time, the acquisition of nuclear weapons and their control by Ahmadinejad. During the Cold War, both sides, the United States and the Soviet Union, had nuclear weapons, but they didn't use them because of what we knew as MAD, MAD, mutual assured destruction. Each side knew that if they used a nuclear weapon, the other would respond in kind and everybody would be destroyed. MAD won't work with Ahmadinejad because mutual assured destruction for one of his mindset is not a deterrent, it's an incentive. this is the final struggle, the end of time. It doesn't matter if you kill billions of your own people. Allah will know his own, and you will be doing them a favor by giving them a quick pass to heaven and all its delights. That's why I feel that if he has it, or when he has it, to be more precise, he will not hesitate to use it.